All right, today I have a Subaru key fob, and I'm going to show you how to replace the battery on this Subaru key fob. But before we get started, could you give me a thumbs up as well as subscribe to my channel? I'll appreciate it tremendously. All right, so right here I have the Subaru key fob. Now, occasionally, your battery on the Subaru key fob will go dead, and you'll have to replace it with a fresh battery for your Subaru key fob. And I'm going to go through the steps on how to remove it and replace it with a fresh battery and assemble the key fob back together. All right, so let's get started. So you have the key fob right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip it onto the back side. And you see on the back side of the key fob, there is a button right here. I'm going to press this button. Now, if you can't press this button all the way in, you may want to get something like a pencil or a pen and press this button in. And the purpose of doing this is when you press it in, you're able to remove the actual physical key on the key fob. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and press this button, and it slides out. So the physical key has slid out of the key fob. You see that right there? And so I'm going to go ahead and place this down right here because this is part of the process. I actually dropped it, so you want to make sure that you place it in a place to where you can gather it up. So this is the key fob, and what I'm going to have to do now is I'm going to have to open up the key fob in order to access the battery. And doing so, you can use perhaps a flathead screwdriver, or perhaps a butter knife may work, but I tend to just use the physical key itself. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this key in, just the tip inside of the slot, and I'm going to pry open the key fob, okay? And so you're going to have to do this in order to access the battery. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick the tip of the physical key inside of the key fob. There's a slot right here. Do you see this? Let me zoom in closer so you can see this a little bit better. You see this slot right here? That is the slot that I'm talking about. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the tip of the physical key in here, and I'm going to actually put one finger right here, and I'm going to pry it open using this. And I'll try not to use the tip right here because you don't want to make this part of the key fob weak. Okay, so go ahead and touch the actual metal part of the key fob. See this? And I'm just going to hold it one side of this, and I'm going to pry it open like this. It's a little bit difficult. Let me zoom out. Maybe that may make it a little bit easier. Okay, so I have my key fob in there, and I'm just going to go ahead and pry it. All right, it wasn't that difficult. So it pried open, and be careful because parts of it can fly apart, can fly everywhere, such as this part right here. Now this is where the battery is held in here. So it was sitting like this, and I'm going to take the back side of the key fob, and I'm going to place it right there in a safe place. And so this is where the battery is. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take this out. This is the button side. I just took this out, and I'm going to show you how to reassemble it so you don't have any problems with that. So once you've taken this out, you're able to go to the next step, which is to remove the battery. And before we remove the battery and replace it with a new one, know that this battery that you're going to be replacing, the model that you're going to need, is a CR2032, and it's a 3 volt. Okay, so this is important. The CR2032 is the model number of the battery. Now the brand that it says right here, Panasonic, is not all that important because you can get it from different brands such as Duracell, Energizer, or whatever brand that is out there. So this is the model CR2032. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to remove this battery from this housing right here. Now these nodules right here, these knobs right here, these are fixated right here. They're fixed nodules right here, so they don't move at all. But the ones right here actually bend slightly, and you're going to go on this side. So what I end up doing is I'm going to take the physical key again, and I'm going to get a corner of it, and I'm going to slide it into this little crack at the top right here. And when I do that, the battery actually pops out. Make sure you have your thumb on it so it comes out and doesn't fly everywhere. And then you're able to remove this. This is the old battery. And then you're able to bring in the new battery. Now, it's important to note that the plus side is facing up, the negative side is facing down. So look at this. So the plus side is facing up. I'm going to slide it back in. Now you want to slide it in this way because these are the fixated nodules right here, and those are not right here. So I'm going to slide it in this way until they're in place, and then push it down, and it snaps into place and it's secure. Now once it's secure, I'm going to go ahead and take the side with the buttons right here, the side with the buttons, make sure that the buttons don't fly out, and it can fly out. Make sure they're back into place. Make sure everything's back into place. And I'm going to put this back in like that. Make sure it lines up back into the housing properly, the same way it was when you took it out. There's a rubber gasket in there. Make sure you have the rubber thing is in place. This is the rubber gasket. So I'm going to put this back into place. That actually helps keep it water resistant. Make sure it lines up. And so once it lines up, you're able to come over here, and then you're going to put the back housing back on right here. And then you're going to press it down until it clicks into place, like that side, that side. It's all into place. And then I'm going to go ahead and take my key, physical key, and I'm going to slide it back into the slot that it came from. All right. Slide it back in there and push it until it clicks. And the key fob is working again. And that's how you replace the battery on a Subaru key fob. I hope this video was helpful. Thanks a lot for watching. Please give me a thumbs up if you find this video useful in any way. Thank you.